It was a bit of a disastrous fight week for Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 279, but the end result sees him submit Kevin Holland in the first round of their makeshift co-headliner at 180-pound catch weight. Of course, as we all know, Chimaev was originally expected to fight Nate Diaz in the main event of this card, but he absolutely botches his way in and missing the mark by 7.5 pounds, blows up the entire top of the fight card, forcing the UFC to reshuffle these top three matchups. Ultimately, he ends up being taken off the headliner, fighting Holland, which was a grudge match stemming from months ago, but also from their fight week, pre-fight press conference, scuffle, whatever you want to call it, brawl that led to the press conference being canceled, and just this entire chain of events that we ultimately got here, leading to these two having their grudge match. But it was effortless when he got in the cage. Another performance from Chimaev, his fourth in the UFC, without absorbing a single significant strike, and that is just a remarkable thing for this guy to keep doing. And I think we saw the depth of his talents inside the cage. All the questions now are just what is going on with him mentally, what is going on with him physically. Not getting a ton of clear answers from Chimaev himself or UFC President Dana White in the aftermath of this. The way they describe it, just one of those situations where his body shut down and the doctor made the call to have him stop cutting weight, and we got what we got at him weighing in so high over the contracted limit with Diaz. But nevertheless, he gets the win, now 12-0, and I think people see that he has a very bright future. It's just what weight class is he going to compete in, where can he be the most reliable. To me, he is a contender in either the welterweight or the middleweight divisions. Both of those make sense for him. It's just, is the UFC going to give him another chance to fight at 170? If he does, I think the clear fight to make, with us having a title rematch between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman coming up sometime next year, is to pit him against Colby Covington. That is a fight that the UFC has already wanted previously. It didn't come to fruition. Dana White saying that Covington is free and available to be booked despite his ongoing legal situation with Jorge Masvidal. So I think if you are going to do Chimaev at 170, absolutely the fight to make, a title eliminator as good as it gets in the welterweight division. If it is middleweight, you got to go with the grudge match against Paulo Costa. We know all the beef that unfolded between those two during fight week as well at the UFC Performance Institute, and interviews over social media as a ready-made fight for you at 185. And if Chimaev is able to beat Costa, who is of course a former title challenger, highly ranked, you have a clear number one contender for the winner of Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira there too. So a lot of avenues for success for Chimaev at this point. It's just hopefully he can figure out whatever he needs to figure out with his body, his mind, to get himself right on the scale, because everything else seems perfect. He turned completely heel, has all the hate against him coming out of this event, but he seems to be embracing it, loving it, and the future is bright for Khamzat Chimaev, no matter how you feel about him coming out of UFC 279.